Today was our wedding anniversary. My husband, Ethan, had cleared his entire schedule to whisk me away on a luxury European vacation. First-class flights, 5-star resorts, every detail we dreamed of for months. We were moments from boarding when his phone blared. He pressed it to his ear, his face contorting into a fake, trembling look of concern. "Babe, I'm so sorry. Mom's suddenly taken terribly ill. I have to go check on her. I can't go with you this time." A flicker of disappointment pricked at me, but I nodded. Family came first, or so I let him believe. The truth? His mother had been dead for 3 whole months. I watched him rush off, then tore my first-class ticket to shreds. I wasn't going anywhere, not until I uncovered his lie. I tailed him all the way back to our mansion. I didn't storm inside immediately. Instead, I pulled out my phone and opened social media. There she was. Lila, the daughter of our live-in housekeeper, posting brazenly on her feed. "Your unconditional, unapologetic love is the best 21st birthday gift I could ever ask for." The photo showed her in a white lace gown, wrapped snugly in a man's arms. That man was my devoted husband, Ethan. I rolled my shoulders to loosen up, pushed open the front door, and stepped inside. The foyer opened into a sprawling living room, packed with over a dozen guests, men and women laughing, balloons strung across the walls. The crowd chanted in unison, "Kiss her, kiss her." On the 4th cheer, Ethan pulled Lila close and kissed her deeply, a French kiss for everyone to see. The room erupted in cheers. When he finally pulled away, he brushed his thumb tenderly over her lip and froze. His eyes locked onto me, standing right at the front of the crowd. Fear blanched his face. He tried to shove Lila off him in a panic. I was faster. I stepped forward and slapped him twice, hard across the face. The room fell deathly silent. Lila spun around, saw me, and shrieked. She cowered behind Ethan, clinging to his arm like a frightened child. I smiled icily at him. "When did you acquire a new mother, Ethan?" He stammered, scrambling for an explanation. Before he could speak, a short-haired girl shoved me roughly. "Who do you think you are? Bursting in here and hitting someone? You're insane. Apologize to Lila's boyfriend right now." The rest of the crowd joined in at once. "Who does she think she is? We should call the police. Ruining a birthday party like this, she's a lunatic. Do you have any idea who you just struck?" I smiled at the shouting crowd, then turned back to Ethan. "You think I shouldn't have hit him either, don't you?" Ethan licked his lips, poised to reply. Lila tugged his sleeve and shook her head, frantically. I saw every subtle move. I wanted to see just how far they'd dare to go. Ethan's face twisted with anger. "Chloe, what has gotten into you? This is Lila's birthday. We'll talk later. Don't make a fool of yourself. Get out of my house now." He cared more about saving face for his mistress in front of his friends than his own wife. I laughed bitterly. "Ethan, where exactly do you want me to go? Or do you simply have secrets you're desperate to hide?" Lila began to whimper softly, fake tears welling in her eyes. "Chloe, I know you've had a crush on Ethan for years. It breaks your heart to see us together, but love has to be mutual. He loves me. We've been together for 2 years. He promised he'd marry me the second I graduate. Please, just leave us be." My blood turned to ice. Ethan and I had been married for 2 years and 1 month. They'd been together for 2 full years. He cheated on me just 1 month after our wedding, and he'd brought Lila and her mother into our home under the lie of hiring a housekeeper. They'd lied to my face for 2 entire years. The short-haired girl piped up again. "I get it now. You're the housekeeper obsessed with Lila's boyfriend. How dare you?" Being mistaken for the help made me bark out a laugh. "Lila, are you still living in a fantasy? What makes you think I would ever serve you as a maid?" Before I could finish, a glass of red wine was hurled straight in my face. The short-haired girl smirked triumphantly. "You're the one who needs to wake up. Lila's mother is a successful businesswoman. Her boyfriend owns a thriving company. This entire mansion belongs to her. You? Look at your clothes. No designer labels, nothing fancy. You're only fit for cleaning up after others." My clothes lacked labels because they were custom made by top European designers worth more than all their outfits combined. More girls rushed to Lila's defense. "Hurry and apologize, or you'll lose your job." A man leered, his voice crude. "Lady, how old are you? Fighting over a man with Lila? If you're that desperate for attention, I'll take you. $200 a night. Sound good?" The room erupted in cruel laughter. I wiped the wine from my face, stared dead at Ethan, and spoke slowly. "Ethan, I am your legal wife. Are you truly going to stand by and let them insult me for your mistress? Don't you dare regret this." Ethan's expression was cold and unyielding. "Lila is my girlfriend. You brought this all on yourself." His words were vague, but his loyalty was clear, buoyed by the crowd and Ethan's support. Lila stood taller, her voice sharp with newfound confidence. "Chloe, I call you you sister, out of respect, but know your place. You humiliated Ethan in front of everyone. He's a CEO, for heaven's sake. Did you stop to think about his pride? She turned to Ethan, her voice softening into a syrupy purr. Ethan, I may be young, but I know how to stand by my man and give him the respect he deserves in public. Not like Chloe. She'd struck his fragile male ego perfectly. I sneered. I almost forgot. I hit him, but I didn't hit you. I grabbed her hair by the roots and slapped her twice, hard across the face. Lila screamed and wailed. Chloe, how dare you lay a hand on me? I'll never forgive you. Shut your mouth, I snapped. I raised my hand to strike again, but Ethan seized my wrist and shoved me away with brutal force. His strength sent me crashing into the champagne tower. I fell to the marble floor, shards of glass piercing my palm. Ethan didn't spare me a single glance. He pulled Lila into his arms and snarled, Chloe, apologize to Lila right now. I stared at my bleeding hand. 2 years of marriage felt like those glass shards, sharp, agonizing, embedded deep in my skin. Lila peeked out from his embrace and smiled at me, triumphantly. The pain in my hand hardened my voice. Ethan, you're throwing a birthday party for your mistress in my house, cheating on me right in front of my eyes, and demanding I apologize to her? Have you lost your mind? Do you truly think I'm that easy to bully? Don't forget, I'm your legal wife. I gave you everything, and I can take it all away in an instant. Ethan's eyes widened in shock. Lila cut in quickly, defensive. Chloe, Ethan built this company with his own hard work and talent. He earned every bit of his success. Don't act like you're the reason for everything. Talent? Success? He could barely read a basic business plan. When he'd dreamed of starting a company, I took $1 million from my family to fund him. I convinced my father to hand him several multi-million-dollar projects. To protect his fragile pride, I even transferred key executives from my father's corporation to run his fledgling business. He deluded himself into thinking he was a genius. He never questioned why top industry talents would join his tiny startup. Without me, he never would have turned a small business into a company on the verge of going public. The guests began to murmur among themselves. Is she telling the truth? Is this her house? Is Lila the other woman? He's far older than her. Maybe he lied to her too. But he's defending her so fiercely. Would a cheating husband act like that? The short-haired girl yelled over the chaos. Stop speculating. This is Lila's house. I've been here countless times. I've seen her and her boyfriend sleeping in the master bedroom. I met her mother. She's a true lady of wealth. Revulsion churned in my stomach. They'd been in my bed. Lila twisted a diamond ring on her finger, preening. This is my house. Everyone here can testify. You're the one who needs to leave. Ethan, please make her go. Ethan nodded obediently. It's your house. Whatever makes you happy, my love. The short-haired girl grabbed my hair and dragged me toward the door. Know your place, woman. You can't just steal another woman's man, she shouted to the others. Who wants to see this slut stripped naked? Let's teach her a lesson for Lila. My eyes widened in terror. I clamped my hands over my chest. Several men lunged forward, tearing at my clothes. I struggled wildly, screaming Ethan's name, begging him to stop them. Ethan hesitated, lifting his hand, but Lila pulled him back. Ethan, don't worry. My friends know what they're doing. And this way, you can control her completely. Ethan smiled and pinched her cheek. They stood side by side, watching as my clothes were ripped from my body. Let go of me. This is illegal, I shrieked. The short-haired girl slapped me across the face. We're doing the world a favor. You love chasing married men. Enjoy the attention. Hands groped me everywhere. I thought I would break apart. Just as I was on the brink of total despair, the front door swung open. Happy birthday, my princess. Mommy's gift has arrived. Lila's mother, Maria, swept in wearing an emerald green silk cheongsam, carrying a lavish jewelry box. She looked the picture of wealth and elegance, until she saw the chaos unfolding. She shrieked in horror. What on earth are you all doing? The short-haired girl raced to her side, immediately. Aunt Maria, this woman broke in and attacked Lila. We're just protecting her. Maria's gaze fell on me, and her face drained of color. She trembled violently, too terrified to meet my eyes. Lila quickly slipped on a sweet, innocent mask. Mom, Chloe didn't mean it. She's just upset about Ethan and me. My friends are only teaching her a small lesson. Please don't fire her. Maria understood instantly. Her voice shook. I'll go upstairs. You carry on. Rage burned in my veins. My voice was rough and icy. Maria, you let Lila act like a fool. Do you think these people can protect you forever? I'd quietly grabbed my phone while they were distracted. Maria puffed out her chest, still trembling with fear. You little bitch, don't you dare talk nonsense. Everyone knows my daughter is Ethan's favorite. Only she deserves to be by his side. This woman deserves to be taught a lesson. Do whatever you want to her. I'll take full responsibility. I stayed calm, stalling for time. Take responsibility? You're just a housekeeper. Do you truly believe you're a wealthy socialite? I locked eyes with Ethan. Ethan, everyone who hurt me today will pay. Every single one of you. Leela charged at me, claws out. I summoned all my strength and shoved her to the floor. Ethan flew into a rage. Don't hold back. I'll handle all the consequences. Someone wrenched my hair hard, and I fell to the ground again. If the CEO says so, we have nothing to fear. Slut, trying to steal Lila's man. We'll show you today. Strip her clothes off. A girl climbed on top of me, pressing her full weight into my stomach, tearing at my clothes, viciously. I could feel more skin exposed. I was seconds from being completely defenseless. Then, crash, the front door was kicked open. A dozen police officers rushed in, uniforms sharp and authoritative. Lila clapped a hand over her mouth in shock. The people attacking me froze, then threw their hands up in surrender. An officer barked. Who called the police? I slowly raised my hand from behind them. I did. Ethan reacted in an instant. He stripped off his jacket and wrapped it around me, pulling me into his arms. Chloe, what are you doing? I told you we'd talk later. You had to involve the police? They don't meddle in personal matters. My company is about to go public. If the media catches wind of this, it'll ruin everything. He turned to the officers, forcing a sickly sweet smile. Officers, there's been a terrible misunderstanding. We were just celebrating a birthday. Someone must have dialed 911 by mistake. So sorry you had to make the trip. You can be on your way now. I slapped him again, hard. Officers, he's lying. I recounted every brutal detail. The red handprints on my face, my torn clothes, all the evidence was undeniable. Ethan tried to protest, but one stern look from the police silenced him. Lila's friends all pinned the blame on the short-haired girl, claiming she'd pressured them. They didn't dare implicate Lila, not with Ethan protecting her. The short-haired girl shouted defiantly at the police. She's the homewrecker. I was defending my best friend. Cheaters deserve to be punished. Why are you arresting me? The officers glanced at me. I said I needed 1 minute upstairs. When I returned, I slammed our wedding portrait onto the floor. Look closely. Who is the real wife here? Lila paled and burrowed into Ethan's arms. You're actually his wife? The short-haired girl stared in disbelief. She realized she'd been used. She whirled on Lila. You bitch. I trusted you as my friend. You used me. Police led the group out. They cursed Lila the entire way. They thought it was over? My revenge had only just begun. I pointed at Maria. Officers, the dress she's wearing and the box in her hand are mine. Maria panicked, yelling, How dare you accuse me? I bought these myself. Plenty of people have similar clothes. I laughed coldly. That dress is a one-of-a-kind creation by a French embroidery master. His initials are stitched into the collar. It cost over 100,000 euros. That box holds jewelry I purchased at an international auction, worth 7 figures. Do you think a live-in housekeeper could afford that? Maria slapped me hard across the face. Police restrained her immediately. I fell to the floor, my head ringing, blood trickling from the corner of my mouth. He had the audacity to hit me in front of police officers. If I didn't have more scores to settle, I would have sent him to jail right then. Lila cried fake tears again. Chloe, you hurt me, and now you're lying about my mom. She's innocent. I ignored her. I showed the police electronic receipts on my phone. Refused to admit it? Officers, please investigate. I've reported numerous missing items from my home recently. I suspect she is the thief. Maria nearly collapsed. Leela struggled to hold her up. The officers nodded. The value of the stolen goods was too high to ignore. Maria was handcuffed. The dress and jewelry were seized as evidence. Ethan couldn't believe I'd been telling the truth. He'd seen me store those items in the closet. I'd told him they were a birthday gift for my mother. He'd never imagined they cost millions. Chloe, how could you be so vain? Wasting all that money. Do you have any idea how hard I work to earn a living? I glanced at him, dripping with sarcasm. You could never afford any of this. I spent my own money. You're not even worth my time. Ethan was speechless with rage. The police offered to take me to the hospital for my injuries, then to the station for a statement. I asked for 10 minutes to finish things with Ethan and Lila. They agreed. Lila watched her mother being taken away, sobbing into Ethan's chest. Ethan, please help Mom. Chloe is so cruel. Mom cleaned this huge mansion all by herself. She worked so hard. It's just a dress. She can wash it and give it back. Why did you call the police? Mom is an elder. Chloe doesn't respect you at all. and you're the owner of this house." I burst out laughing. Lila's tears froze in her eyes. "What are you laughing at?" "First, your mother is a paid housekeeper. It's her job. The only reason she had to clean this entire mansion alone is because the man next to you was too cheap to hire extra help. He paid her next to nothing and worked her like a dog, but you two agreed to it. Second, if you do wrong, you face the consequences. Stealing is stealing, even if it's a pair of socks. I have every right to call the police. Were you too busy chasing married men to pay attention in school? Third, I have no respect for elders who raise mistresses." I looked at Ethan. Fourth, are you absolutely certain this house is yours? When Ethan and I married, he was just starting his business. He could barely feed himself. This mansion was mine, bought and registered solely in my name. To protect his fragile pride, I'd told him a friend had sold it to me at a steep discount, and I'd borrowed money from my parents. Ethan snapped. "Chloe, I've had enough. I knew you never respected me. Everything that happened today is because your family looks down on me." He pulled Lila close, possessive. "Now you know the truth. I love Lila. She's the only one who truly understands me. I'd never been spoken to so cruelly, never been physically harmed until today by the man I'd loved for 5 years." My smile was bitter and hollow. "Fine. You want a divorce? I agree." Lila was stunned. "Chloe, Ethan built all his assets with his own 2 hands. If you divorce him, you won't get." I cut her off sharply. "You want me to leave with nothing? Fine. It's all yours. I don't want a single thing." I didn't want it, but that didn't mean they got to keep it. Ethan and Lila couldn't believe how easy it was. They were practically jumping for joy. They pulled out a pre-prepared divorce agreement and shoved it toward me. I smiled coldly, signed my name in a single, swift stroke. My voice dropped to a low, sharp whisper. "In exchange, you two will leave something behind." "What?" Lila asked, confused. I smiled mysteriously. "You'll find out soon enough." I left with the police. Lila and Ethan clung to the divorce papers, dreaming of their perfect future. They even started kissing passionately on the couch. Then 6 black-suited bodyguards burst in and surrounded them. Ethan was petrified, holding Lila tight, his legs shaking violently. "Who are you? What do you want?" "If you lay a hand on us, I'll ruin you." Slap. A bodyguard struck him hard across the face. Lila caressed his cheek, crying, "How dare you hit him? My husband is the CEO of the Bennett Group. You'll regret this." The bodyguards didn't care. They only answered to me. My order was simple. Leave them alive, but nothing else. 2 guards grabbed their hair. The others beat them relentlessly until they could barely breathe. They begged for mercy, offered all their money. Nothing worked. When they were barely conscious, the bodyguards dumped them on the street. I didn't want them dying on my property. It was bad luck. I had all my valuable belongings moved to my parents' house. I listed the mansion for sale immediately. That night, I went home to my parents. They were horrified. I was supposed to be on vacation with Ethan, but I returned injured and broken. My father nearly called the police on the spot. I told them everything: the affair, the birthday party, the abuse, the divorce. My mother held me, crying, calling Ethan a monster. My father was relieved we were splitting up. He'd never liked Ethan, said he was greedy, dishonest, and only good at smooth talking. I'd been hopelessly in love with him. Anyway, my father had no choice but to agree to the marriage. He made me promise one thing: never tell Ethan about my family's true wealth. It would be my secret safety net. That safety net had become my greatest power. Without it, I would have been helpless against his betrayal. I thought I wouldn't feel sad. The relationship was toxic, rotten to the core. But I'd loved him for 5 years. He'd cheated on me, lied to me, humiliated me. The pain and rage lingered, unshakable. I stayed up all night, found all the cheap trinkets he'd given me when we were young, and threw them in the trash. I'd treasured those worthless things. He'd thrown away 5 years of love just because he thought I looked down on him. Our wedding anniversary trip had turned into a nightmare of catching him red-handed. After being thrown out, Ethan and Lila took a taxi to the hospital. They lay there, injured and bitter. I thought it was over. I recalled all my family's employees from his company and cut off all the secret projects I'd been funneling to him. I planned to watch his business crumble, slowly. But Ethan and Lila were never the quiet type. From their hospital beds, they started live streaming, lying to the world about their affair. Lila spoke to the camera, fake remorse in her voice. "I know Ethan and I were wrong. We couldn't fight our feelings. I'm so sorry, Chloe." Viewers flooded the comments, insulting her relentlessly. But Lila just smiled and kept spinning their fake love story. The hate drove their view count through the roof. They hit 100,000 viewers. Lila ended the stream with a grin. Follow me for more of our story. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time." She turned to Ethan, triumphant. "I gained 50,000 followers today. Just wait. Because of Chloe, everyone at school knows about us. I got suspended. I'm going to make her pay." I knew they were live streaming, but I had no idea what vile plan they were hatching. A few days later, I was in my office when my assistant called, panicked. "Miss Chloe? It's a disaster. Check the news." I opened my phone. Headlines screamed across the screen. CEO's wife exposed. Leaked intimate photos. My hands shook as I scrolled. The photos were explicit. Me, half naked, in bed with a man. My head felt like it would explode. Private areas were blurred, but my face and body were fully exposed. The man's face was completely covered. I recognized Ethan's body instantly. "The setting wasn't our mansion. Have you confirmed if these are real?" I asked my assistant. "They're authentic, Miss Chloe. The company stock is plummeting already." I stared at every photo closely. Then I spotted it, the tiny detail that would destroy them. "I need you to do something for me," I told her. Ethan was live on camera, crying fake tears. "When Chloe and I first got together, we barely had $100 to our name. I built this company with my bare hands because I loved her and wanted to give her the best life possible. But after we married, she stayed out all night, constantly begging me for money. I have all the transfer records to prove it. When my company was growing, I didn't have time for her. I had no idea she was cheating on me. She destroyed me. I wanted a divorce, but my mom was sick, so I waited. I met Leila later, but Chloe attacked her for no reason. To protect the woman I love, I'm exposing the truth today. I want Chloe to face the consequences of her actions." His lies pushed their view count to 200,000. Some viewers even believed him and supported them. I watched the stream, my eyes cold with rage. So this was his big plan, making me beg him for mercy. The scandal blew up for 3 full days. I became the most hated woman on the internet. My father wanted to send our top legal team to fix it immediately. "Chloe, don't you worry. Daddy's here. I know you'd never do this. I'll make them pay for every lie." I shook my head. "If we end it now, it'll be too easy for them. I want them to climb as high as possible first." The day finally arrived to finalize the divorce. Ethan walked in with Lila, cocky and smug. "Chloe, you're about to lose everything." Leila laughed mockingly. "Thank you, Chloe. You made me an internet star." I said nothing. I just waited to watch them fall. In those few days, Ethan and Lila had gotten rich from pity follows and donations. It wasn't as much as his company earned, but Lila had never seen that kind of money before. 3 days later, the scandal reached its peak. Leila was a minor internet celebrity. That afternoon, I went live. I paid for top-tier promotion. Thousands of viewers poured in instantly. When the view count hit 100,000, I revealed the full transfer records and unedited chat logs. Ethan had sent me money, but every penny was for his mother's hospital bills. Every large transfer was proof of her medical care. The comments split instantly, viewers turning on Ethan. While the crowd argued, I released one more piece of evidence, the hotel registration records. The photos were indeed me, but the man in them was Ethan. On our first vacation together, he'd secretly hidden a camera in the hotel room. He'd planned this from the very start. If we ever fought, he'd blackmail me with these photos. I told the full, unvarnished truth. Then I handed all evidence over to our legal team. As I expected, Ethan came running to me, frantic. "Chloe, how did you get the hotel records?" I smiled coldly. "So you paid off hotel staff to fake this? You're disgusting." Ethan panicked for a split second, then snapped. "I don't understand why you're destroying everything after the divorce. What do you gain from this?" "I get to watch you suffer," I said. "That's more than enough for me." Ethan laughed arrogantly. "Chloe, you and your washed-up father can't hurt me. I'm not the poor boy I used to be. When my company goes public, you'll be nothing. I'll ruin you and your family." I raised an eyebrow. "I think your company isn't going public." As soon as the words left my mouth, his phone rang. He listened, and his face turned deathly white. Call after call poured in. Sweat poured down his forehead. He hung up, staring at me with pure, unbridled rage. "Chloe, you did this. You ruined me. Who are you? How could you make all my key employees quit? How did you make all my partners pull out?" I looked straight into his eyes, calm and steady. "Hartsford Group. Have you heard of it? The most powerful family in the country," he whispered, horrified. "I am that family," I said quietly. Ethan collapsed to the floor like a deflated balloon. "It can't be. You told me you were from a normal middle-class family. Ethan, you brought this on yourself. You were disloyal, greedy, and ungrateful. I gave you everything. You threw it all away because you have no conscience." I leaned down to his face. "That hotel? It's mine too." Ethan stared at me in utter disbelief. He finally realized his perfect plan to destroy me had been doomed from the start. Security dragged him out. He screamed and cried, delirious. Chloe, give me one more chance. I'm sorry. I'll leave Lila. I'll only love you. Take me back. I'll change. It was far too late. Ethan's company collapsed within hours. After paying his employees, he had nothing left. He and Lila moved into a tiny, run-down, rented apartment. I thought Lila truly loved him. She'd stayed with him even when he was broke. I was wrong. She stayed only for the online clout. She kept live streaming their drama for cash, while secretly meeting wealthy fans behind his back. One day, Lila walked into a hotel with one of her rich followers. Ethan ran in after them. I happened to be across the street. I watched as the man's bodyguards beat Ethan nearly to death. Lila leaned against the man, looking at Ethan with pure disgust. "You're worthless. You think you can trap me forever? Look at you. I can't even stand to glance at you." A stranger called an ambulance. Ethan was rushed to the hospital. 2 days later, I saw the news. I was at the airport, ready to leave the city behind. Lila was dead. She'd been stabbed 21 times. Every wound was fatal. The police arrested the killer immediately. Ethan. I sighed softly. Life is unpredictable, cruel, and unforgiving. No one knows what tomorrow holds. All we can do is live freely today, with a clear conscience. I turned off my phone and walked to my parents. The anniversary trip I'd missed, we were taking it together, my whole family, at last. After this painful betrayal, I've learned to give my heart only to those who deserve it. Greed and disloyalty always backfire. I'm free now, living peacefully with my family. May you all be treated with kindness. Please like, comment, and subscribe.